I'm Elena. I've been a casting director here at Central for, 11 years or so, and I've been on Scandal since about season 5. Other Shondaland shows that I work on: For the People, Station 19, The Catch, and I did a few episodes of Grey's Anatomy. I didn't actually work on How to Get Away with Murder, but it was close by in the office. Some of the challenges of working on Scandal, and really any Shondaland show at that point, is not crossing anyone over from show to show or from scene to scene, season to season, that kind of a thing. You know, if you've died in the past, obviously you can't come back. If you were a White House staffer, you can't do anything else but be a White House staffer. But once you had a job on any one of those shows, you really couldn't come back to anything else. Make sure your wardrobe looks amazing. You know, go out, and you don't have to spend a ton of money on your clothes, but go out into a thrift store or, secondhand store, whatever, get a tuxedo or a suit or whatever the case may be for whatever you're looking for, and get it tailored perfectly to fit you amazing so that you look like $1 million without actually spending $1 million. Besides that, make sure you are full on hair and makeup ready. Make sure your pictures with us look amazing, because if I have to send your picture to either defend why I booked you in a spot or to have you picture picked for something, you need to have that picture looking good, because if you look like me in just a t-shirt, you're probably not gonna get picture picked for a job on Scandal. Oh, I love creating backstories for people, especially on Scandal. So let's go back a season or two if you watch the show. Obviously, we have a new administration in the White House, so a lot of the White House staffers that had worked for years past aren't able to work in this current season. So say you switch to For the People, and now I have somebody who wants to work for the people. He hasn't been on the show before, that's fine, but in my head, it's a Shondaland universe. He's already been a White House staffer, but it's been probably a year or two. So I'm on the phone with him, and I'm like, all right, so you got fired from the White House, maybe you moved to New York, you wanted to get out of DC, not deal with anything. All of a sudden you're gonna, maybe you went to law school and now you're getting a job as a paralegal or whatever the case may be. Maybe you're just on vacation and having dinner at a restaurant in New York. I tell those backstories all the time. Well, working as a background casting director, just in general, I watch TV in a completely different way than I did before. But I will watch Scandal purposely to know that, okay, I booked this particular person as a president of some other country or something, and I will make sure I watch that episode to know how featured they were, or if I just saw the back of their head, and, if it was somebody's just arm or, that kind of a thing, so that I know in the future if I can get away with using them again. To double them up as something else. So it's a whole different TV watching experience. Sometimes if I actually want to know what's going on, I have to rewind and watch again, because I can't just stare at the background the whole time. Oh, it's funny you should ask that question. Of course, I have a story about directors on Scandal. So for years now, since the beginning, Luke and I, who's one of my ADs, I would maybe share my love of Scott Foley. And, old Felicity fan, obviously. So he's directing an episode, and we're joking around about it, and I send some pictures to production. Jeremiah, the first AD, emails me back, and he says, great, I'll have Scott Foley take a look at them, and we'll get back to you. And I, jokingly, thinking Luke has now told him about my, love for Scott Foley, I say to him, great, well, if Scott wants to call me to discuss these choices by himself, I'd be more than happy to talk to him. Thinking nothing of it. He's never going to call me. It's fine. Fast forward to, the next day, we're at the office. It's about 7:30. We've now transferred calls over to the night staff, and all of a sudden they get a call. They transferred over. My assistant answers the phone. It's like, Elena, Scott Foley's on the phone for you. I laugh. I pick up the phone. I'm like, Luke, stop messing around with me. This is not okay. And all of a sudden on the phone, he's like, no, this is for real Scott. And I was like, oh, okay then. And we chatted about how he knew the background was going to be glorious. He, if you watch the episode that took place in Cuba, that was his. And I was like, Scott, I think, this relationship is going to be really special this season. He was like, I think so too. And obviously we're besties now. So, yeah, that's my lovely Scott Foley story. Being somebody that's not on set all the time, and just swinging by every once in a while, going to production meetings, that kind of a thing, it's hard to feel like you're part of that family, and the Scandal crew is really excellent at making you feel like you're part of that family. And they're a fun time to, party with. And that's probably what I'm going to miss the most. I mean, we'll see each other out and about, I'm assuming, on other shows, but we probably won't all be back together again, which will, be sad, but they're a good group of folks.